Raymond Wills. I'm the advisor of the University Program Council, and I am a cancer survivor, appendix cancer. I was diagnosed back in 2017, so I'm going on 8 years now, doing great. But you are here to talk about you and to tell your story. So why don't you start by telling a little bit about yourself, your major, campus involvements, hometown, anything else you want to share?
Yeah. My name is Gracie Schneider. I am an agronomy major, and then I have a minor in the Angler Agribusiness program. Okay. And so that's what I've been studying. I'll graduate in May, and then I'm going to move back to my hometown, Cozad, Nebraska, where I'll be working with seed and seed sales, and then also some research-based work at Nutrient Ag Solutions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good old Cozad. All right. So for your cancer journey, can you share your story, if it's yourself or somebody that you're associated with?
Yes, so I am a cancer survivor.
Okay.
I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer in May of 2023. So I was 19 years old, a student here at Nebraska when I was diagnosed.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. And then in October of 2023, I reached survivorship. And so I, this past October, reached 1 year cancer-free. So yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes. So you're doing your annual visits now?
Yes.
Okay. And I believe for me, it's annual for 5 years. Is that the same for?
Yes, so right now I'm on annual visits, but I did have a full thyroidectomy, so I don't have a thyroid at all.
Okay.
And so I do have more checkups in between there, trying to regulate my thyroid levels.
Yeah.
Because that just controls so much in your body.
So much.
I actually have not ever had an appointment where I haven't got that medication adjusted. I'm still trying to get. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's kind of an ongoing thing that I've had to deal with, is just trying to regulate those things in my body. So yeah.
And where are you going for your treatments?
So I started out just going to an ENT in Kearney, Nebraska, and I had surgery at Good Samaritan Hospital. And then after the surgery is when they found out that there was cancer in my thyroid. And so then from that point forward, and now I go to UNMC in Omaha.
Okay. Yep. Fred and Pamela Buffett? Yep.
Yes.
That's where I go as well. They are wonderful.
They are.
Very wonderful.
Yes.
So during this cancer journey that you've been on, what would you say is probably the most difficult part?
I think the most difficult part for me is watching my family and seeing how much it affected them.
Yep.
I don't think any parent should see their daughter go through that. And so.
Remember, it is okay. You need some Kleenex. Same for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your family or anybody, if you have siblings?
For sure, yes. I have 2 older sisters, and that was just the biggest thing, is seeing everyone worried about me. I feel like I was less worried about myself than I was about my family worrying about me, which was a really strange feeling.
Same for me.
Yeah.
You're just so worried. Even when I was getting my diagnosis, and I went in for surgery for something else, came out, and the doctor said, "We think it's cancer." My husband about passed out, and so I'm on the table, and he's on the floor getting fanned by the nurse, and I'm worried about him more than me. But I totally understand what you mean. So, because of that, what do you do to stay strong and hopeful during this?
My faith has grown a lot during this journey, immensely. I just have a lot of faith in God. The strangest thing about my journey is something was wrong with me for so long, and nobody could figure out what it was. It was just strange. So they just decided to take my thyroid out, and then they found it. And I remember sending a text to my sisters and saying, nobody knew what was going on, but he did. And he found a way to get it out of me. And I texted them, I said, he's got me now. I'm going to be okay. And so I think that was just a big moment where I really realized that my faith in God is the most important thing. And I have a lot of trust in him. And I think that's what got me through.
That's your strength?
Yeah.
That's beautiful. So, who would you say is probably your strongest support?
My family, for sure. My parents, my 2 sisters, and then I have a very big family that is very close. So my grandparents, my aunts, my uncles, cousins, everyone. And then also my boyfriend, Kyle, was very supportive during all of this. So Definitely just family and friends is what really got me through.
Okay, so family and friends. Now how about here in the Husker community?
I had a lot of professors that were very willing to work with me. I had my surgery in the summer, but then I still had a lot of appointments and things to go to during the school year, and I never felt like I got behind in my classes or that I was missing too much school, because they really helped me just realize like it's okay, you can't control this. This is something you have to do, and so that was very helpful, and it was nice to not stress as much about school while going through this as well.
They're very accommodating.
Yes, for sure.
That's
very understanding.
Nice, nice. So through this cancer journey, what have you probably learned the most about yourself?
I think I'm stronger than I ever knew I was.
Uh-huh.
I think my family is more important to me than ever before. I mean, they've always been important, but I really saw that. And just seeing the strength and having that support and the strength in myself, because it was just a long journey, but I'm happy to be where I'm at today.
Yeah, it's an ongoing journey.
Yes, for sure.
Yes. Is there a moment, like a memory that you have that really stands out that you want to share with everyone?
I think I have two, actually.
Okay.
So my first one would just be entering survivorship. That was kind of like a big relief, although I know it's still an ongoing journey and I'm still going to have troubles. That was just a really big moment, and I got to share that with my mom and dad, and it was just one of those things that you kind of never forget. And then also, I specifically remember in kind of this waiting period where I didn't know, like, is the cancer gone? Like, am I going to have to do further treatment? It was just a really long waiting period of going to visits and not knowing. And I was struggling, and my boyfriend said to me, his name's Kyle, he said, is there anything I can do for you? And I said, can you just pray for me? And he said, I do every night.
Aww.
And in that moment, I realized that not just from him, but my entire family, I had more support than I even knew about.
Yeah.
And people were supporting me in ways that I couldn't even see. And it's just one of those, like, life-changing moments where you really see, like, I'm so lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you really know those that really care about you.
Yeah.
They're not just there, but they're actually really there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. So what advice would you give to somebody that's getting ready to start their journey?
That's hard, because I feel like I had a lot of a different journey than most people with cancer, just because, you know, I had the surgery and then found out after, like, oh, you had cancer, but you don't anymore.
Ah, okay.
But, like, we're not sure, so you still have to go to all these visits, so it's kind of like just a long waiting period. And I think the biggest thing is, no matter what the news is, how awful it is, it's better to know than not know.
Yeah.
And I think no matter how bad it is, it's better to just know so that you can do something about it. And so no matter how bad it gets, just be lucky that you know about it and that you have the chance to fight it.
Yeah. So is there a community out there that you're a part of that has also gone through thyroid cancer?
No, but I do notice it more, like when, like in other things, or like people on TikTok that talk about it.
Yes.
It just like catches my eye more. But I definitely do know that it's a lot more common in young women than it used to be, and so it's just like knowing that. And every time I go to a visit and they ask if they can take an extra test or extra blood work for research, I'm always more than willing to do that, because it's one of those things that's just like kind of random and comes out of nowhere. And it's, so yeah.
Same way, I'm always checking the box. Yes, please,
Yes.
Anything to help anybody else
for sure.
to get through this. So how has this entire experience kind of shaped your life today?
I think I'm more grateful for the little things.
Yeah.
I just really saw how extremely lucky I am to be here, to see the strength I have, to have such a supportive family and friends. And so I think it's really helped me to just enjoy the little things and really appreciate everything that I have, for sure. Oh,
yeah. So in what ways would you like to honor others because of what you've gone through?
I think it's definitely, again, I just go back to my faith, and I think about you, like, see people going through hard things, and you're always like, oh, like, I'll pray for you. I have never, like, done that more than I do now.
Yeah.
I see somebody going through something, and I will sit down and pray for them, and it's just something that was really eye-opening to me,
Yeah.
because I'm just so grateful for the people who supported me that I want to do that for anyone else in any way I can, and just being understanding and giving grace to people around me.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people didn't know about what I was going through at the time, and so, you know, if I didn't show up for something or didn't do my best on something, I think it's just important that you don't really know what other people are going through,
Yeah.
and so just being willing to give that grace to others around me, because you don't know what somebody else is going through.
And are you giving yourself grace?
Yes, trying to.
Okay, because you gotta remember, you gotta give grace to yourself
Yes.
before you give to others, right? Yes. So what does hope look like for you now?
It's definitely something that I think is a lot more powerful than I thought it was before. I mean, there's so much power in having hope and the will to try to fight and be better and enjoy those things in life, and I just think it's just a lot more powerful than it ever has been before.
Yes. So is there a quote, phrase, you mentioned belief, your faith that carried you through, but is there anything else that kind of carried you through those tough moments?
There's this specific song, it's called He Knows.
Okay.
I was listening to it, it played in church one day, and I remember I was standing there with my grandma holding her hand, and I was just crying.
Aww.
And it was just like a song that kind of kept coming up randomly, and I always knew in those moments like that there was power in my faith and that He knows what's going on, and God also doesn't give you things that you can't handle and that aren't in His plan. And so that was just a big thing that like uniquely kept coming up randomly, that kind of like gave me a sign like, oh, I got this.
You got this.
Yes.
You got this. So is there anything that you'd like to share with others that you know, after hearing your story, that you want to make sure that they remember and take away from this?
Definitely take account of the people that you have in your life that will support you, and hold those people close, and just make sure that you are willing to accept help and accept support from those around you, and have faith in what you can do and what you can get through.
And is there anything else that you want to share that I didn't ask?
I don't think so.
No? You did wonderful.
Thank you.
Thanks, thank you.